Hello everyone. Before starting the summary of this chapter, I just want to say तीन बहुमूल्य नियम। हमेशा मास्क पहने, अपने हाथ साबुन और पानी से नियमित तौर पर अच्छी तरह धोएं, दूसरों से उचित दूरी बनाए रखें। In this video, I'm just going to tell you the summary of the first chapter of 12th class from the Flamingo book, and the chapter name is The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet. First of all, I am telling you the introduction. Prussia was a powerful European empire. It consisted of Germany, Poland, and parts of Austria. There was a war between Prussia and France. It was held in 1871 to 72. France was defeated, and two districts of France, namely Alsace and Lorraine, passed into the hands of Prussia. The lesson describes how the Prussian rule affected the life of the people of Alsace. M. Hamel was a devoted teacher and patriot. He taught French and loved it. An order from the Prussian rulers stopped the teaching of French. Instead, they imposed German on them. This dismayed M. Hamel. He told his pupils and the elders of the village that they must stick to their mother tongue. Only it could help them to regain their freedom from the foreign rule. The experiences are described by one of the pupils named Franz. Actually, Franz is late for school. He is a young boy. He was late for school. He was afraid. The teacher had asked the pupils to be prepared on participles, but Franz hadn't learned the lesson. He was sure that the teacher M. Hamel would be angry. He was also afraid of his ruler. The day was fine. He was tempted to play and enjoy himself in the open fields, but he dared not. He ran towards school. On his way, he passed the town hall. There, he saw a crowd of people in front of the bulletin board. This bulletin board had brought Alsace all the bad news over the last 2 years. French presumed there must be another bad news, but he did not stop to inquire. He rushed on. The blacksmith who had read the bulletin told French not to hurry. There was plenty of time, but Franz did not slow down. He thought the blacksmith was poking fun on him. Franz wanted to reach his desk unnoticed. He hoped there would be noise and commotion as usual. He depended on this noise and bustle to reach his desk unnoticed. But he was surprised. Instead, he found the school quiet. Students were sitting quietly in their seats. M. Hamel was not rapping his ruler on the table. He was moving up and down with his ruler under his arm. He too looked grave and quiet. There was no chance for Franz to enter the room unseen. He had to open the door and enter before everybody. Unexpectedly, M. Hamel didn't rebuke him. Instead, he spoke kindly to him and told him to go to his desk. When Franz had settled down, he looked at M. Hamel. There was another surprise for him. M. Hamel had put on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and his embroidered black silk cap. These clothes he put only on special occasions, but it was no special day. Franz could not understand why Hamel had put on those Sunday clothes. There was still another surprise in store for Franz. There were village people on the back benches that had always been empty. The former mayor, the former postmaster, old Hauser with his triangular cap, and some other village people occupied those back benches. M. Hamel climbed up his chair and spoke to his pupils in a gentle and serious tone. He told them that an order had come from Berlin. French would not be taught anymore. Instead, German was going to be taught, and the new teacher was expected to arrive the very next day. They were going to have their last lesson in French that day. Now, it dawned on French what order there was on the bulletin board and why the blacksmith had told me not to hurry. He also could see why M. Hamel had put on his best clothes. M. Hamel's words struck Franz like a thunderbolt. He was lost in thoughts. He had hardly learned to read and write. He felt he would have to stop forever. He was sorry to have wasted his time. He had always been enjoying himself outdoors. He had hated his books. He had dreaded M. Hamel and his iron ruler. But his attitude suddenly changed. He felt his books were good companions. He did not mind M. Hamel's ruler and his rebukes. Now, he also understood why the people of the village were there. They were also sorry that they hadn't been to school more. Now, they had come to thank the teacher for his faithful service. M. Hamel asked Franz to tell the ruler for the participle. Franz wished to could tell the rule, but they failed miserably. M. Hamel did not scold French. He said Franz was not the only person to blame. The people of Alsace had never been interested in learning. They put it off till tomorrow. Franz's parents wanted him to earn some money instead of going to school. He said they were strange Frenchmen who could not write or read their own language. He blamed himself also. He said sometimes he closed the school when he wanted to go fishing. M. Hamel then praised his mother tongue. He said French was the most beautiful, most logical, and clearest language in the world. He exhorted the people to stick to it. He assured them that if they held fast to their language, they would be able to get rid of the Prussian rulers. Their language was a key to their freedom from slavery. It was M. Hamel's last day at school, but M. Hamel had the courage and devotion to do his teaching work as usual. He taught grammar. He gave writing exercises. He asked little children to trace their fish hooks. French listened to his lesson attentively. He felt Hamel had explained the lesson so clearly that he had never done before. It appeared to him that on that last day he wanted to give his pupils all that he had to give. The church clock struck 12. It was time for the school to close. M. Hamel wanted to say something, but he was overcome with emotions. He wrote Vive la France on the blackboard and with a wave of his hand dismissed the school. Dear students, this is the brief introduction, brief summary of the first chapter of Flamingo, which is the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. I hope you can understand it easily.